No?
Okay. Hello, my name is Lizasouras. I'm Lizasouras on Instagram, and this is how to turn on a slackline for beginners. Yay! Okay, so first you have to already be able to stand on a slackline. So we're going to stand up, and we have 2 feet on the line. I'm going to say that there's 3 different ways to turn on a slackline right now. So there's a 4-point turn, a 3-point turn, and a 1-point turn. So what we're going to do first is the 4-point turn. So the 4-point turn, if you watch my feet, I'm going to just demonstrate really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am moving my weight forward on my front foot, turning my back foot 90 degrees. Now I'm turning my front foot 90 degrees. I'm fully in exposure, which if you've never done exposure before, this is the perfect way to start practicing that. Then I turn my back foot, now front foot 90 degrees, and then I turn my back foot 90 degrees. So 90, 90, 90, 90. So when I'm doing this turn, I'm doing it on the pad of my foot. So I'm doing it on this front pad of my foot. You could put your foot and balance on your arch if you want to. If I ever do that, I go to the front of my arch. So I'll go like right under the pad of my foot. So pad, and then the front of your arch or the top of your arch maybe. That's where I'll balance for this turn. I personally don't like to go any lower than that, but you can play around with going to different parts of your foot when you do this. So you'll notice for your upper body, I'm turning my back leg, and then I'm turning my front leg. My chest is still facing the tree where I can balance like this. You'll find this is a lot easier if you've never really done exposures before. And then when you start feeling comfortable, you can turn into that exposure. And if you're like, try to save it by turning your chest back to the tree. You'll find that since you're used to this is like your safe zone. So you can just come back to this. So try to balance an exposure, come back to this. And make sure you do that going both directions. So I turn my back foot, turn my front foot. So now I'm twisted the other direction. Exposure. Okay. So I'm going to say it again. So left foot 90 degrees, right foot 90 degrees. My chest is still pointing at the tree. Now I'm going to turn into exposure. Now what I can do is I can turn. Here, I'll face you. Okay, so 90 degrees, left foot, right foot 90 degrees. My chest is over here. Exposure. Okay, so now I'm back around. I have my chest turned this way, but my feet are still in exposure. But I want to complete my turn 180 degrees. So I'm going to turn my front foot, which is my left right now, and then my back foot, which is my right. And now I've done a 180 degree turn. Okay, so one more time. So back foot. So 1, 2, move your chest, and then move your chest again. Oh, 3, 4. So I guess if you add the chest moves, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my gosh, now it's a 6-point But yeah, so that's the 4-point turn, or the 6-point turn. Okay, so now it's time for the 3-point turn on the slackline. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my front foot this time. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. I'm on the front pad of my foot again. But if you want, you can go to like the top of your arch if you want. But I like doing it on the pad. Now I'm going to take my back foot and I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. So, boom! Now, look how crooked I am. I'm going to turn my torso. Ta-da! Okay, so let's do that again. I'm just going to demonstrate. Front foot, back foot, back foot. So it's 3-point turn. 1, 2, 3. So I move my torso with that last pivot. So it's my front foot is also the last foot to turn. So I do a 90, and on my second 90 is when I turn my torso. So 90, whoops, 180, and once again I'm pivoting on the pad of my foot with that back foot. So I did 180. Now I'm going to turn my torso with that first foot. Eventually you'll get so smooth you can just like link this all together. But that is the 3-point turn. Make sure that you do it on both sides. So now I have my left foot doing 90 degrees, my right foot's doing 180, and now I turn this foot. You can just turn and take a step. You don't, so I'll just demonstrate. Front, back. Now I have that back foot crooked. I only turned it 90 degrees. You can just take a step from here instead of turning that to forward. So it's really just whatever you want with that. But I'd say that's the 3-point turn regardless. Ooh, there's a saxophone. Okay, now, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna call this the 1-point turn. Really, don't start off with this. You don't need it. But, you know, some people, like, you ask them, oh, how do you turn? And they're like, oh, I just kind of do it all at once. So you can just, like, kind of get on the pads of your feet and turn all at once. I do not suggest that if you're a beginner, but practice it. It's fun. What else? I don't know. What else do I want to say?
Just practice them a lot.
Practice, 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 practice.